Absolutely.
Okay, I just turned it on.
Okay.
Okay. When I speak, do I come on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
oh, okay. So, all right. So as I'm speaking, I do show, but right now, see on my screen, just see a photo of you.
Oh, really? No, I see
Yeah,
both of huh.
yeah. That's why on sometimes I just don't know how to do it, but on sometimes they can go side by side so we can see each other as we're speaking.
I wondered how to get that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me see
Yeah.
something. I'm gonna tap the screen. You see where it says more? If you
No.
at
I'm
the
looking down
bottom,
at the
right?
bottom. I see share screen. Do you see that?
That's yeah. I see me. I see share content, participants, more. And when I click more, it
Yes.
says chat, meeting settings, backgrounds and effects. So I'm wondering if it's under meeting settings. Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those choices in share, it should have a little diagram. It should show you how to get up, you know,
Oh,
uh,
on my screen it says under share, only the host can share in this meeting.
oh, okay. Let me
So I
try it. How did you get to it? You tap on share screen?
yeah,
Let
no,
me
it
try.
says share content or whatever.
Okay.
But because you're the host, I'm not going to see the same things you see.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Hmm. Now you see, right?
Right now I do. What did yours click? It show you that I hit something, huh?
Yeah, show you his, but
Okay.
it came back to your computer screen that's showing your a blue swirl with icons on it.
Oh, that's what
But
you're saying?
yeah, it took away my photo. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. So whatever you did, remove me from there. Um, I don't know.
Okay, what happened there? Mine is back on, it's just your photo. Are you seeing that?
No, I still see your desktop
Oh, okay.
where it says me you're touching something with your mouse where it says meeting criteria meeting controls. Um
Yeah.
it's you're sharing your screen with me. So you got to come out of there where whatever you clicked on to share, you got to change that.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how do I go back. Uh,
Uh, um Click on the Zoom icon on your desktop. See it on the left?
yeah.
Click
I'm
on
back
that.
at the start of the Zoom.
Right. Then click the go down to the bottom again and click what says share. But that's as far as I can follow you because as the host, it won't let me do it.
Okay. Oh, I see something. Return to meeting. Because right
Right.
now on my screen, I'm at the Zoom start page where it asks about, do you want to join a meeting, return
Uh-huh.
to meeting?
Oh,
Okay. I found more. Uh,
under more, I have let's see. Under under more, it says for me, chat, meeting settings. backgrounds and effects. And I don't know which you should touch on that.
Yeah, to go back to the to give you the original page, that large page. That's You're right. That's what I'm trying to get back to. Trying to figure out how do I do that.
Mhm. I mean, you don't have to have my picture there. We can just talk like it is. Oh, there we are. You did
But
something right. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I found out a long time ago with this technology, you know what? You just have to try. Hit this
Mhm.
button, hit that button, try to make intelligent choices. But you know, and I just make sure that I don't hit anything that says do not touch, you know?
Well, at least trying. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's it.
people in, the age group I'm in and older that won't even try the computer.
That's
So
right. It's
at
like
least
they're
you're,
scared of it, but you know,
yeah,
that's life teaches us that we have to put the effort forward and go, you know.
you gotta flow with life like water.
Yes, ma'am. That's it. Okay. Um, well now at least okay, I can see you and I can see myself. We're not on the
Right,
same screen now, but at least I can see both of us now.
right, exactly.
Okay. So of course my name as you see there, I'm Abdul Shahid. Uh Dr. Kalima.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. And you say you're in New York
yes.
City?
No, I'm actually, well, now I'm going to Queens, but I'm in
Oh,
Long Island now.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
Um, when we were on the messaging yesterday,
Uh-huh.
did you say that you had been in jail before?
Yes, with
Okay.
incident with my youngest daughter. Yes.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All right. Well, my background too. I am an ex-convict. I
Uh,
served 11 years in prison in Texas. I got out. I went in 1989. I got out in 2000. And
mm-hmm.
in 2013, uh, an imam from Dallas came to the city where I live. It's a small army town called Killeen, and
Yeah, I
he
know
came.
about the.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So the that imam came to the masjid here, and he asked them, could he make an announcement? And during his announcement, he asked for volunteers to start going with him to the prisons. And I
Mm-hmm.
started. So I've been working there volunteering since 2013. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Okay.
uh, it's good work.
Um,
I like it.
I'm
Cool.
surprised that they don't compensate you. I know in New York prisons they pay you for going in, different programs you offer to the prisons. I didn't know that they did it the way that you had to do it all these years without any remuneration.
You know what, Sister Kalima? They
Yes.
do. They have positions that are open, paid positions that come open, and I've been invited to apply for it. But here in Texas, at least I know here in this area where I am, and I speak with some because I know paid Muslim chaplains here in
Uh,
Texas, and so I'm regularly in touch with them. What I told them, they said, because they asked me, they said, why don't you apply for the paid position? I said, look, I said, the reason I don't, I said, because I see that the way that they keep you all so spread out, you you don't really have the time that you need for working with the people, the prisoners, men and women, because they keep you all tied up with administrative duties, paper duties.
mm-hmm.
Because for the whole state of Texas, there was for right now. There's only 3 paid imams for the whole every prison in Texas. So you can
Wow.
imagine how busy they are traveling around the state.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The administration keeps them busy with things like uh, well, the Muslims up at prison, so and so and so and so, they're giving us problems with their attitudes. Go up there and talk to them, and then
Mhm.
go over to this part of the states, the north, the south, and whatnot. Um, and like I tell the imams, I said, I'm more like this. Um, I am, I admit, I'm making a big sacrifice because I sure could use the money. I'm on limited income. I just get
Mhm.
money, from Social Security. So I sure could
Yeah.
use the money. But also, as a Muslim, uh, I think I accomplished more that by being there to talk person to person with the people. And I try to, the ones that I do come in contact with, I'm not able to get all over the state, but the ones that I do come in contact with, uh, a bunch of them, the praise be to Allah, they listen and I can see some acceptance, some change. Of course, not
Mhm.
everybody in prison is gonna, you know, up and change.
Right.
But there are some people that hear and they realize, hey, there is a better way of life. I don't have to do things like this. Uh,
Yeah.
because one thing I tell them, I'm very uh, honest with them, upright with them, not vulgar, but upright with them. I tell them things. I say, look, when you were out there on the streets in the crime life, you had to use your intelligence. If you was any kind of criminal, if you were good at crime, you had to think. I said, Allah does not tell you in the Quran, tells you not to think. Allah just tells you don't think that way in your crooked way. I said
Mhm.
that same inner drive that you had before, don't get rid of it, keep it. But now let
Yeah.
it steer you in the correct way. Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of us, and you know how full the prisons is of us, blacks, African Americans, and Spanish. And I said we've been tricked into using all our energy for crime. And I said, man, think bigger than that. You, your life is worth more than that. You know. Uh, so, and like I said, thank goodness a lot of them, some of them, they listen to that and they start to think, hey, that does make some sense. Or
Yeah.
I'm looking for my, I think I found it. My power wire to my computer. I just got a little note come on, tell me my computer battery is running low, so let me plug it up.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, there. Uh, so, uh, oh, are you going in? Do you go into any jails or prisons right now at this time?
No, I haven't gone into courthouses to change the way that they are biased against Black men in family court, seeing their children uh, crimes that they commit can be the same as a white counterpart, but getting more strict sentencing.
Right.
We've those to do that. I've gone into prisons to free certain people out when they were falsely arrested or accused of something. But I haven't done the ministry piece yet, which I feel like I'd be really valuable for sisters in the sense that not only did I spend, it was just a weekend in jail, but it was because from that weekend I learned how the system works in
Yes.
the way they were mistreating the people inside. So I think Allah had me go in it to experience it for the cries that he get from them when they're praying inside and feeling like nobody's listening. So it kind of helped me to see it from the other side instead of out here. Um, and I know there are a lot of women in prison that have murdered somebody, um, have been victims of domestic violence like me. And so I don't want them to lose hope. I want them to see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does love us, because there was a phase I went through when I was being abused that I thought Allah forgot me. And I rebelled, acted up, wasn't gonna, you told me to do it this way, Allah. I did everything you said. I married as a chaste woman. I had all my children in the marriage, and you let him beat the hell out of me. And
Yeah, so it made you wonder, well, what's going
yeah,
on? Yeah.
right. If I'm doing what you're saying, how can you let somebody like this be the very first man that I get outside of the gates of my parents' home?
Uh,
And so I was bitter with him for a minute and ripped off the hijab and, you know, want to hang out and date. And I don't want to do what you say now because you didn't do what I thought you promised me you'd do. But I want to teach how I found my way back, of course, by the mercy of Allah ultimately. But what held the glue that made me find my way to knowing that out there was nothing and that in Islam it was everything, and found myself back. And I want to teach that to them so that they don't give up, because it does look ugly, because Shaitan will paint the ugly picture, make it feel like that. But in reality, it's XYZ. And that's what I wrote my novels with, shared a novel with my sheikh. We did some things to try to help, but I am more effective, like you said. You're more effective with the people, talking to them. Your energy makes them want to listen to what you have to say for the most part. I have the same energy. When I'm around them, I'm more effective than the book, you know,
yeah.
uh,
And
paperwork.
you know what, sister? And I've been listening to you, and I can feel it. I feel the spirit. I feel that way about you from you.
Yeah. And that's the love, it's really because as Muslims, because I'm Sufi, I don't know if you know Tijani, but I'm studying to be a Sheka. And one of the things that I knew growing up as a kid, I was always spiritually gifted. I mean, like a little 7-year-old kid walking around preaching. That was me. And
Yeah.
and it, when I think about it, I'm like that people probably thought I was out of my mind. But I was as a kid, and I'm like, something is very different with me, spiritually. And I was a minister as a kid, so I knew that there was some specific spiritual connection between me and the one that created me. So I searched and I searched and I searched. And finally, I says, okay, I know exactly who I am today. And we have to find that space, and like the prayer we make and Nas, Kul A'udhu bi Rabbi Nas, Malik Nas, Ilahi Nas, Min Shari Waswasil Kanas, Iladi Yuwaswi Sufi. The Suf is your spiritual connection to Allah that makes you spiritually connected to each other. And you're not just Sunni, because Sunni is like a robot. You know your 5 prayers, you make your Hajj, you do your fast, that's a routine. But the actual connected love at the heart for each other, that commitment of brotherhood, feeling responsible for each other, that's when you got that. When Allah says, you cannot say you love me unless you have love for one another and want what's you want for yourself, you want for your sister and brother too.
True. And that's a whole another level. You're right.
That's right.
As a step upwards. You're right.
Yes, it
I
is.
agree with that. Uh,
Yes.
uh, in fact, uh, on that very note, uh, that's one of the things that I also share with the people. I said, look, wanting to be a good person, wanting to have goodness in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm talking about we, the people in general. Sometimes we'll choose Islam or some other faith, but in this case, we're Muslim. We're talking about Muslim. I would choose the faith of Islam, and then it doesn't seem to be working out. just like what you touched on, what you were telling me about your experience. Uh,
Right.
but I tell myself, you know what? I said, yeah, I went through things like that. I said, most Muslims, I think, especially us, we Muslims in America, because we
Mhm.
didn't grow up in Muslim countries. We had to like Allah led us to this. So yeah,
Right.
and just because we became Muslim, we thought it was just boom, that was it.
Mhm.
Everything good happens for. No, it still goes
Oh,
on. You have to climb step by step.
yep. That's right.
Well, and part of the test of this faith, any other faith actually, is that Allah is testing us. Are you going to hold on, stay there while I take you through the steps of
Right.
growth?
Right. And still believe me and
And
still
still
work.
believe me. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why Jonah in the whale, Prophet Yunus, when Allah threw him in there, he cried, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min alamin, because he said, you are the Almighty. Nothing else can save me but you. And
He
I know,
realized it then, didn't he?
yep. He said, I know I have transgressed, but I need you to save me. Yes, yes. So we have to understand that while we're blaming him, which was my thing that I said I threw a tantrum, but while I was blaming him, I was also gathering up my own bag of sins. I might have started out doing what he said, but I didn't do that when I rebelled. So now I'm racking up sins and I expect him to forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so he was showing me the other side of humanity, the other side of mankind's arrogance and the makeup of us. Because we see this one thing as I broke out the gate from my parents, but I didn't know it was in me to do the other stuff that I messed up with. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's where I learned of the change of character based on circumstances will put you in a certain space and you will behave according to that, or you can choose to be better than that, which is what led me right back to my Lord. Because
Alhamdulillah, you made the correct choice. Go back.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
there you
I
go.
feared. One of the things I feared was I remember reading that Allah will have if you lose yourself so much, you won't even remember how to make salat anymore.
Sure, yeah.
Scared me to death because all you have is your prayers.
That's
And if
right.
you know how to pray, that's serious.
That's right. That's your connection. You know,
Yep.
I tell the people all the time, I said, look, I grew up uh, a Christian. I was like 19 or 20 years old before I ever heard anything about Islam. And,
Mhm.
back in that time, my age, Islam then was the black Muslim teaching here in America.
Right, right.
Okay. I said, um, when I was growing up as in a Christian family, they used to say things like, do you have a personal relationship with the Lord? And I
Yeah.
said, I didn't feel it. I said no, because I didn't feel it. I didn't know what that was. But sister, you know
Exactly.
what I tell people now? I said, now as a Muslim, Alhamdulillah, the praise be to the Lord God Creator. As a Muslim now that has gone through those steps and
Yes.
had some times when I felt down or bad and whatnot, but I never gave up. I kept on coming back,
Yeah.
going and kept, and Allah blessed that effort. So now I
Yeah.
tell the people, now I have a personal relationship with the Lord.
That's right. Me too. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
that's it.
I know exactly
Because
what.
isn't there times that you talk to Allah, you talk to the Lord like you were talking to a friend or
Somebody,
something right there beside you?
yep. That's how I do it all the time. And I talk to him. I don't try to sound holier than thou. I literally talk to him the same way I'm speaking to you.
Yeah,
And I'll
that's
say,
right.
now, Allah, I've been sick. You know, X, how come you haven't given that to me yet when you the owner of all things? I,
Yeah.
I keep sitting right here. Like, cause
Yeah.
come on now, you see me here. You know I'm depending on you.
Yeah.
What's going
And in
on?
time, Allah answers, Allah says, I'm teaching you. I'm
Mhm.
teaching
But he,
patience. I'm
when you
teaching
hold
you
them,
to be stronger.
yep,
And in time, it all works out. It
it
all,
does.
yeah,
Just like Prophet Islam said, sometime all you can do is just sit still. That's
that's
it.
it.
That's it. You wait on Allah patiently, and He loves those that are patient, and mindful of the fact that they're being tried. And He loves when you challenge Him, when you say, you told me this in the Quran. That excites Him, and now I don't see that you did that. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's like I gotta do this for her because she's pushing my back against the wall.
Sister, one of the things that I tell the people in the prisons, because a lot let me learn this lesson. One of the lessons I
Mm-hmm.
tell them, I said, you know what? I have never had to call to this prison like this, but the unit I was at that time, or any other. I've never had to call and say, I'm canceling my talim or service for today. I won't be able to make it
Yeah,
today because I
right.
didn't have gas money and whatnot. 'Cause when we talk about the expenses and whatnot, as
Yeah.
a
Oh,
volunteer, I take care of all of that all by myself. But
yeah.
I shared with
Mhm.
them, I said, you know what? I said, each and every time Allah has made a way
For me to do it. That's
for
right.
me to do it.
Because what I was specifically speaking on was when I was mentioning how I hold them accountable. I'm really very ill. And when I got ill, I was invited into the UN. And I wouldn't turn it down because I'm a humanitarian at the heart. So I'm doing all of this from hospital beds and on IVs, laptops, and cell phones from the hospital.
Okay.
Nobody knows that that's what's going on because I sound strong in my voice. I sound okay. So nobody thinks anything's going on. So there were times when you mentioned gas, I couldn't even get to dialysis because the gas price was too high. And I looked to Allah and I said, listen here, you must be telling me it's time to go. Because I've got to have dialysis 3 times a week, and that car is the only way I can get to it. Now, if you don't give me the gas, you must be telling me you about to call my soul then. So I'm gonna sit here on this bed and I'm gonna wait for you until you come through with something. And I
Yeah,
guarantee you, he came through every single time.
man.
So get treated. Even in
Isn't
the
that
11th,
powerful? Yeah.
right at the nick of time,
Yeah.
here he come with
Yes.
something.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Oh, let me let you know on my screen, the Zoom says that it's running out of time. I didn't know that. So I guess it's like only an hour. So
okay.
so it may shut off the meeting. But let me
Uh-huh.
ask you, we're gonna keep talking until it does. But let me ask you this: do I have your permission? This like you see here, I'm recording this. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I would like to post this talk between me and you. I would like to
Okay.
post it on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Not a problem at all.
Yeah,
Not a
because I
problem
do.
at all.
We have had a very good talk, sister.
Yes.
Um, I'm, I would love to see you going into jails and prisons when you have a great testimony. I'm telling you.
I believe so. And I want to share it because I do love my whole humanity, whether they're Muslim or not, from the bottom of my heart. Because today they may not be Muslim. Tomorrow they may take Shahada. It's not
Yes,
right
right.
to judge anybody. It's not right for you to dislike somebody because you were once in their shoes of
Yes,
the lack of knowledge. So I
yes,
love
right.
globally, worldwide. That's why I tell the truth of my story. We were in jail because my daughter had gotten attacked by several women in their 40s, and she was 17, and she beating them. And when she called the cell phone telling me she was needing my help, she dropped the phone, scared me to death. I thought somebody was killing my child. I
Yeah.
jumped on, I go rushing around there, and I go to grab a girl off of her that looked like she had a gun in her hand. Later, we found that it was a taser she was tasing my daughter with. But I went to grab her from behind to snatch her off my daughter. And then that's when I had pinned her to the ground. I didn't remember hurting her, but I did. There was blood on her for something I did. I don't remember. But it wasn't intentional to fight her. It was trying to save my daughter from being shot. And so they arrested us, even though all charges were dropped. These people did this on purpose and got away with it. And it always hurts me that I had to experience that situation, knowing that I was just in my home office working when I got an emergency call of my child and nobody wanted to hear anything I had to say. I was automatically guilty for fighting somebody, and I wasn't fighting her. I was pulling her jacket from behind, taking her off my child before I thought she was going to shoot my child, you know? So even when you're telling the truth, Allah says that in the end of days, the enemy will make truth look false and false look real. So the people have bought into all the lies and they believe those before they ever believe the truth you're telling. Unfortunately, that's where we are today. So I want to help people in there because not everybody is guilty of something in the prison, and even the ones that are can still learn. They can still benefit from what I've learned.
Yes.
You know? Mm-hmm.
You're correct. In fact, that's one more lesson that I have learned in my years of going into the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the Muslims, I have seen non-Muslims be affected by uh, by me showing good Muslim behavior, good Muslim character, good human character, and it affects other people, non-Muslims. I
That's,
see it.
that's right. It does. Because you're responsible to that too. Because if
Yes.
somebody a bad example from you, you're gonna that's where Allah talks in the Quran about and a double dose to ye all.
Yes.
Because you are gonna have to pay for the role you played in that you set that example for them, and they gotta pay for the role of taking that lesson and doing it without the research themselves, without preventing themselves from doing the wrong. So, you just want to lead a good example. You want to be a good person. You want to make it to paradise. You want to have a spacious grave, you know? So it's just like, it's not worth it to do all the other things when time is so limited in your life to show Allah what you're made of,
Yes.
True. Really. It's not a lot. It looks like a lot of time, but it really isn't.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I tell you what we're going to do, sister, because I was thinking while listening to you, I better not go all the way until it shuts off on its own, because I want to try and download whatever I have to do to save this recording.
Uh-huh.
I better work with
Yeah.
this, but we
Okay.
need to talk more in the future. And
Okay.
inshallah, I'm really going to be doing my best to get this saved and send you word of when it will be posted on LinkedIn. And of
Uh-huh.
course, this is me and you. So when I post that this recording on LinkedIn, I don't know if you're able to download it, but if you can, do so. Download it, put your copy on your computer or whatever you don't want to do. You want how you want to save yours, and that's
Uh-huh.
yours to do with as you like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this because one of the things, common sense things that I have learned uh, in computer technology, I see a lot of times different imams and different people, period, on online. They'll be saying things like, uh, "This recording is only for use by such this person, and no one else is allowed to," And in some cases, I can, respect that. But then, like in a case like this, what we're talking here, this is this is your property as well as it is mine. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So sister,
Plus, we got good intentions. We're gonna do good things with it, inshallah. Hopefully, it'll lead
Alhamdulillah.
to an opportunity to do it. To actually do the work I want to do. Maybe to
Yes,
hope doors up. Maybe somebody will listen to it on LinkedIn and say, "Hey, I got an opportunity for her to speak to the women here." That's what I.
exactly.
Yeah. So it's a good thing.
You never know what doors Allah will open for you.
That's right.
And
That's right. Alhamdulillah. And that's what I'm waiting for. And I appreciate you taking the time to have me, to interview me, to talk with me. It means a lot because time is valuable. And when people are making time for you, that's a blessing. That's a huge gift. Everything is not money. Everybody sees everything as money today, but most things are not money. You
uh,
know, this is value right here.
and
And
this is great value.
yes, I appreciate you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for your kindness.
Yes, ma'am. Alhamdulillah. Sister, would you do me the honor? Would you uh close us out? Would you say the Al-Fatiha or any dua that you would like to make?
Well, I'd like to say I'm Dr. Kalima Fatima Abdul Qudus, PhD, the president of the SAFE Campaign NGO in special consultative status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations, New York, USA headquarters. I work with a sheikh there that had invited me in there. And I also appreciate that because it was a very spiritual connection that led me to help other people spiritually. And honestly, I'm so grateful to all the whole ummah, the whole humanity, that I give my whole soul and my whole heart to loving unconditionally. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with all of us who care so much about what happens to each other and are striving to please Him. That's what I pray for us, that we are handsomely rewarded in multiplicity for that kindness in our heart, the cleanliness in our heart. May Allah reward us now and later for those efforts here. Ameen.
Ameen. Ameen. Alhamdulillah.